Today, I'll share why I think the Insta360 GO is still one of the best cameras that I've had the pleasure to use this year. Starting out straight away with the number one thing which I like about this camera, and that is its usability. Not only you can use this pendant accessory to attach the camera underneath your clothing, but you can use the fact that this camera is magnetic, meaning that it will stick to any metal object that you can find. That gives you so many opportunities to use this camera in a way that otherwise you wouldn't be able to. I mean, normally I wouldn't put a camera on my dog. However, the GO is so tiny that it actually makes sense, and why not try it, right? And I did it, and I used this pet mount accessory from Insta360 to attach that to my beloved dog. And it wasn't uncomfortable for her, it wasn't annoying for her, and I was able to get some really cool shots in my opinion. So yeah, I think my dog will be starting her own YouTube channel very soon. For those everyday scenarios where you'll be finding yourself looking for a way to hold this camera, you have this case which you can use as a tripod like so, or if you want, you can use this tripod mount on the bottom to attach it to an actual tripod where you'll have a little bit more flexibility. For example, if you have a tripod which extends on a pole, you can use that, or you can simply use the built-in legs of this case to use it as a tripod, and just use it so you can place it on a flat surface so you can record yourself from a different angle. I think in its essence, this camera is just a fun camera to use. It's not trying to be something that it's not meant to be. It is just another tool which you can use to capture some unique angles, some unique perspectives, and spice up your videos. I tend to use this camera mostly for my Instagram stories, which of course you are welcome to follow on Instagram at Drone Supremacy. And I think it's just a fun way to explore the world while not really thinking about the shot. When you put it on yourself like so, you kind of forget that you have a camera on you, and you can have your hands free so you can do something else, and you will still have this whole action captured on your device. Of course, we also have action cameras nowadays. I use a lot of GoPros, a lot of other Insta360 products, but they are a little bit bigger, they are a little bit bulkier, they do have a lot more tweaking and configuring to do before you actually start filming. At least for my experience, that's always been the case. But with this, I don't even focus on the settings. I just turn it on, start recording, and then I have the shot afterwards. And for the most part, I've been quite happy with the footage that I'm getting from this camera. Of course, it really depends on the lighting conditions, but in a nice sunny day, you will have a very nice, bright, crispy looking footage that you can use in a variety of different scenarios. Now, you guys know I use my action cameras like my GoPro 10 and my GO mostly for FPV. That's, I would say, 90 to 95% of what they usually film when I use them. So for me, it's always been interesting to check out the GO and see how it will perform on my FPV drones. And while I do think it's not the best camera ever that you can attach on an FPV drone, it still has its own way to work well for you, especially if you're using a lighter drone. If you're using a 5-inch drone, for example, something bigger and more powerful, then of course you can use a GoPro. It doesn't really make sense to trying to shave off some weight by using the GO because it doesn't really matter. You have a lot of power anyway. However, on a tiny, more light and compact drone, it really does make sense sometimes to put this, especially when you're not trying to record something in 4K, because this will only shoot in 2.7K. You still can do that, and I really like the stabilization. For example, there is every now and then there is a little bit of jello depending on how you fly and how you have mounted this to your drone, but for the most part I've been really happy with how the footage turns out coming from this camera. So I think if you own a 3-inch drone or anything less than that, the GO is obviously the best choice for you. Go 2 on my FPV drones, I've noticed that the battery drains very quickly, so Insta360 decided to fix this issue by releasing this accessory. This is a USB-C adapter which holds the camera. It has this little cradle here so you can put the camera inside and make sure it doesn't fall out while you fly, and then you have this USB-C port on the side. To use this mount, you will need a cable like this. This is a very inexpensive cable which you can find pretty much anywhere. This is a USB-C to balance plug connector cable, and to use it you simply need to connect the USB-C cable to the mount itself, and then the other side needs to go to the balance lead of your battery on your drone. That means that as soon as you connect the battery, it will power the Insta360 GO 2, and you will not end up with an empty battery after you shoot a couple of videos with this camera. So I think this is a very easy and cheap solution for those of us who are using this camera for FPV and are looking for more ways to charge the camera while you fly, so you don't end up losing your footage when your battery drains. Of course, in a direct comparison between the GoPro Hero 10 and the Insta360 GO 2, you will see a massive difference in the footage itself. However, I don't think that's the point of this camera. It's not meant to compete with bigger and better, more expensive cameras, but at the same time, it can still pull its own weight and produce some great looking footage while not being that expensive. Something else which I really enjoy about this camera is using the Insta360 app. It's very easy to use, it's very straightforward, and you can easily go through all of your footage, download it, trim it, edit it, and then share it straight from your phone. That's something that I usually never do because I'm used to edit all of my footage on my computer. However, ever since I started using the GO 2, I have started using the app, so I can just quickly go through the footage, pick the right moment that I want to share, and then edit it very quickly and share it straight on my Instagram stories. And lastly, I think the price is the most appealing thing about this camera because it's currently listed at $269. I think that's just for a limited amount of time. However, I do feel like this is cheap for what you're getting, especially when compared to bigger cameras like the GoPro 9 or 10 or even the Insta360 One R. So if you're looking to add a new camera to your arsenal which you can use for some more creative shots that otherwise would be very tricky and hard to get, make sure you click the link in the description, check out the GO 2, and let me know what do you think about the footage from the GO 2 in today's video by sharing your opinion in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching today's video. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao.